This news update is brought to you by...
It's the most wonderful Christmas with Flow, with 5 ways to win $50,000. Just activate any prepaid or postpaid plan, top up $15 or more, pay your bill on time and in full, or sign up for the best in entertainment with Flow TV. That's 5 wonderful ways to win $50,000 from Flow. All this and much more from Flow this wonderful Christmas. Visit us in-store today.
It's Thursday, December the 29th, 2016, and this is your Barbados Today afternoon update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with the sad news that the Barbados Defence Force has been plunged into mourning at the death of one of its own. 25-year-old BDF Private Daniel Sylvester Louis of Silver Hill Drive, Christchurch, died following a smash-up in the area of the Graham Hall roundabout in Christchurch last night. The car which Louis was driving became involved in a collision with a van driven by 50-year-old Kenneth Springer of Lowlands, Christchurch. Louis was rushed to hospital by ambulance, but later succumbed to his injuries. The driver of the van, his 4 children and wife who were in his vehicle, all complained of pain about their bodies and were treated at the scene by emergency medical technicians. Police are appealing to anyone who may have witnessed the accident to contact the Oistins Police Station at 418-2612, that's 418-2612, or 418-2608, that's 418-2608. Meanwhile, police are continuing to probe a shooting that occurred at Packers St. Patrick Christchurch in the early hours of this morning. The shooting resulted in 3 residents of St. Philip sustaining gunshot injuries. Police spokesman, Acting Inspector Roland Cobbler, said that 43-year-old Andre Toppin of Chapel Land, 35-year-old Peter Edgill of Foul Bay, and 34-year-old Damien Bourne of Parish Land were among a group of people attending an unauthorized event. Acting Inspector Cobbler reported that a number of men entered the area and, as a result of an altercation, opened gunfire. Toppin was shot in his left shoulder, Bourne in his back, while Edgill received a gunshot to his abdomen, a fractured right arm, and injury to his head. They were taken to hospital by ambulance. Yet another person has gone missing. The latest is 46-year-old William Darlington of 2nd Avenue, Newbury, St. George. He was last seen on Tuesday by his wife Angela Darlington at around 6:15 a.m. when he left driving the route taxi ZR 368 to go to Greens, St. George. At the time, he was wearing a short green capri jeans pants, light blue shirt with white, red, and blue stripes, and a black stocking on his head. William Darlington is of slim build, has a long head, thick beard and mustache, and small ears pierced once in each ear. He also has a tattoo with the name Joy on his left hand. He frequents the River Bus Terminal and Charles Roe Bridge. In sports now, ex-world boxing champion Ricky Hatton says he tried to kill himself on several occasions in a battle with depression. The Briton also talked about the need for boxers to get help after retiring.
I tried to kill myself several times. You know, I used to go to the pub, come back, you know, and take the knife out and sit there crying, and sat in the dark, crying hysterically. Nothing will ever replace you getting in the ring, you know, 60,000 people like at the City of Manchester Stadium cheering your name, the new like welterweight champion of the world. You know, it will be hard to replace it. I think better, but every now and again I do have a little bit of a wobble, and I just have to go and speak to someone and get it off my chest. Yeah, instead of holding it in, that's the key.
Hatton, who previously spoke to the BBC in 2011 about attempted suicide and depression, won the World Light Welterweight and the Welterweight titles. Hatton was stripped of his license to box in 2010 after admitting using cocaine, and retired the next year before fighting once more. He is now a promoter and trainer.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Get your paper, get your paper. Only $2.25, $2.20. Who? For what? That's Bear Stale News. I don't read about that on Barbados Today since last night. That can't only can't do. $2.20. Who?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Read all about it. Get your paper. Only 225. Let's get your paper. You again with that stale news from yesterday. I got the Barbados Today app on my phone and I just get my news for free. What do she?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. A prison officer in Guyana who stabbed his wife to death at her workplace early Wednesday has surrendered to the police. The police report that on Wednesday afternoon, Sheldon Prince turned himself in the company of his lawyer. Earlier in the day, Prince reportedly turned up at Yonette Nicholson Prince's workplace at the psychiatric hospital where she worked as a hairdresser and repeatedly stabbed her. The 24-year-old woman was rushed to hospital where the doctors pronounced her dead. Her body bore 15 stab wounds. The couple had been married for 5 years but separated 4 months ago. They had one child. Prince is scheduled to be charged before the end of the week. In Trinidad and Tobago now, criminologist Professor Ramesh Diosaran says for there to be any reduction in murders in 2017, the judiciary must be more accountable for its performance. Professor Diosaran said the country cannot rely solely on the police to deter criminals. And he said the archaic philosophy of the judiciary being immune from criticism wasn't helping to curb crime either.
And I think the judiciary should sort of climb down from the ladder a little bit and accept public commentary, criticism.
Professor Diosaran's wish for the judicial system in 2017. As a new year approaches and people reflect on ways to improve, the criminologist says it's time for the judiciary to do the same. He contends one of its main failures is its role as a potential deterrent to criminals.
If you sentence somebody quickly, you convict somebody quickly after being arrested and so on, that quickness is a matter of quick consequence for the crime.
The backlog in the court system isn't the only reason the wheels of justice turn too slowly. Professor Diosaran laments the detection rate is also too low. But even if it were to dramatically improve in 2017, the professor contends the rest of the law enforcement and penal system wouldn't be able to support it.
If you increase the detection rate rapidly as people expect, moving from 15 and 20% up to 80, 90%, you will fill the prisons which already doesn't have enough room.
And finally, on the international scene, the Syrian government and rebel groups have agreed a nationwide ceasefire from midnight tonight, followed by peace talks. The deal was announced by Russian President Vladimir Putin and confirmed by the Turkish Foreign Ministry. Russia and Turkey, which back opposing sides, will act as guarantors.
There have been a number of ceasefire attempts made in the past, but they've all been scuttled. This one looks like it has the strongest possibility of holding. It's not just Syrian state media that are reporting it. Russia is confirming it as well. Vladimir Putin coming out today and saying that a number of documents have been signed, the most important of which is a nationwide ceasefire set to begin at midnight. The only exception from that ceasefire are that a couple of groups, ISIS and the Nusra Front, which is an al-Qaeda-linked group, are specifically excluded from the ceasefire. But other than that, the ceasefire agreement says that it will be in place across the entire country. This is an agreement that's been in the works for the last several weeks. In fact, Russia, Turkey, and Iran have all been talking about how this would move forward. Turkey kind of hinting yesterday that a ceasefire deal was in place, but now we have official confirmation from all sides. The only side that we don't have official confirmation yet is Iran, but so far Russia, Turkey, and Syria all confirming that this ceasefire will begin at midnight.
And that's news and sports, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, our screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.